Hello there, this is 𝐕𝐑𝐎𝐻 and this is Art of Rooms. And alright, let's continue playing some more Asphalt 8. And today, I bring you a brand new episode of Roomy Face Off! The series where I put two cars to compete against one another in a 5-round matchup to determine which one is the superior car, at least for this video. And as I hinted in the previous Lamborghini Revuelto video, I am once again doing Lambo versus Lambo, despite what I've said before about brand versus itself and MP tuned cars. But the opportunity was just too good to pass. As you saw in the thumbnail, it's the Lamborghini Revuelto, the V12 platform from 2023, versus the Lamborghini Aventador, the previous platform from 2011. But before I jump into it, if you enjoy my content, please hit the like button on this video and subscribe to the channel, because doing these things help the channel to continue to grow, and in that way I can continue making this silly little content for you. So if you want some more Asphalt 8 right here, like and subscribe. Now, as I mentioned, this is a 5-round matchup, which means I'm gonna be doing 5 races with each car in an alternating fashion. That is to say, one race with the Revuelto, then one with the Aventador, then the Revuelto again, and so on. On the screen, you see now the table that will determine how many points each car will get per race, based on how many players it raced against and in which position did it finish. So that is what this whole information over here displays. Don't worry, it'll make sense as we go through it. First, we need to determine what is going to be the car that we start with, and for that, I have this nifty little website, which allows me to do a custom coin flip, and one side is going to say Revuelto, the other one Aventador. So let's see which one is the car that we will start with. Jesus Christ. And it seems it's gonna be Aventador. Alright. So let's fill that information over here. Aventador, and then the other one is gonna be Revuelto, if I could spell. Fantastic. So let's check what are the cars that are gonna be racing today. First, of course, we have the Lamborghini Aventador Coupe, as it's named over here, which is the LP700. Now, of course, this is on the bracket of 1680, the rank of 1682, and this, in fact, is one of the strongest cars in this bracket. You have seen it driven a lot, maybe you drive it yourself. Very, very powerful. And the challenger is gonna be the Lamborghini Revuelto MP tuned for that same bracket at a rank of 1679. Now, I already made a video doing an MP tune test of this car. I'll put the link in the top right if you want to watch that. But just real quick over here, the thing is worth mentioning is that this car being MP tuned is going to be actually slower than the regular Aventador by about 5-point-something kilometers an hour. So it's a little bit slower, but we'll see how that plays in the races. Speaking of, let's get into it. Round 1. Fight! Alright, we start with Area 51, a track that I have famously gotten worse over time. I don't know why. I used to be okay at this track, nowadays I'm terrible, but it's fine. In general, as I always say in these type of videos, this is all about just the silliness of multiplayer and the randomness of it. It's not really an objective comparison of these two cars. It's just like, hey, what do I get today in multiplayer? Do I get good races or bad races? But let's see how it goes. I just seem to have taken the lead. Let's see if I can keep it though. I'm going with triple tap, and I'm a little bit nervous about that in the start of this race, but it should be enough to get to these barrels, I think. Yep, give me 2. Let's go. Alright, that should last me for a little bit. I'm still going with triple tap, but hey, there's someone right behind me. I think it's another Aventador. And as I said at the start of this video, this car is very strong for this bracket, so you can expect to see this quite a bit in this bracket in general. In fact, it's one of those cars that over time I have gotten tired of seeing, which is kind of sad, because I really like the look of the Lamborghini Aventador, but now I don't feel comfortable driving it just for leisure, because, you know, I just feel like a spammer of a spammed car, kind of similar to the Bentleys, though at least this one looks cooler. I don't know. I may be biased in that opinion, but I don't believe so. But yeah, it's a very strong car, but still, I saw at least another Aventador, and well, it seems that the very first race that we're gonna be doing with this car is going to be what is known as a... Look at that, look at that. I mean, it's not that surprising. It's a very strong car, so yes. Alright, so that was 4 players, and I got a first place. Look at that, there was the other Aventador. So let's log that in with 4 opponents and a first place that gives me 400 points. Whoa boy, and we landed in Monaco, which is a very long track And as I've said before about this car, the Revuelto that I'm going to be driving now, I don't think it has as good nitro as I kind of wanted from it. At least what I wanted from a Lamborghini in 1861 rank, you know, when it's pro'd out and all that stuff. Regardless of whether or not the car is pro'd out, the nitro duration doesn't change, so that's why I'm, you know, mentioning that. But either way, so yeah, we'll see how it goes over here. Now it does seem that the acceleration is pretty alright, but let's see how it compares against that. I'm going to have to go with triple tap. And... alright, at least it seems on par with the Aventador, but I'm gonna switch to perfect nitro because again, the nitro on this thing is not fantastic and I gotta do whatever I can in order to maximize my nitro in general. So there's already 2 Aventadors in front of me, but let's see if I can keep it steady and somehow gain a couple of positions. I doubt it, but hey, we shall try. Though it's worth mentioning that this time around there's a lot more players in this race. There's 8, literally. Whoa! What just happened with that dude? I don't know, but that's good for me. With 8 players in the race, that could be pretty good for the points of the Revuelto. Oh boy. Hold on, because I'm, once again, pretty worried about my nitro. I'm gonna go with perfect. Oh god, that was terrible, that was terrible, terrible, terrible. Dude, oh god, alright, I messed that up. That was my mess up, because that drift was no bueno. So I lost what could have been a straight up first place in this race. But you know what? It's fine. Don't dwell in the past, 𝐕𝑑𝐎𝐻. Just focus on the present. Stop stealing all of my nitro. Jesus Christ, he literally stole all of it. Fortunately, the guy behind me is still far away enough that it shouldn't be able to catch up to me. So yeah, okay, I'll live with a second place, which again, may not be a first place, but given how many players were in this race, that should still mean a pretty decent bunch of points. So if I'm not mistaken, that was a total of 8 players. Yes, it was. Look at that. I did get defeated by one Aventador, but I defeated the other one. And I could have beaten this one had I not messed up that turn, but it's fine. So let's log that information. For this one, that was 8 players and a second place. Look at that. That's even more points. Lovely stuff. Round 2. Fight! And we're in orbital loop. Let's go. Now, I know that it's a little bit weird at first to be like, wait, 𝐕𝑑𝐻, what do you mean that getting a second place gave more points than finishing in first place in the other race? It has to do just with how many players are in the race. Because when there's a few players, when there's only 4 players, your chances to end up in a high position are relatively high. In a 4-player race, you have a 25% chance to be first place. However, in an 8-player race, that goes to 12.5%, so it's much lower. So getting into a first place or even a second place, it's worth more. So I know, it's a bit of a weird system, but trust me, we have tested this extensively, and by we, I mean I, but it seems to work pretty well, so yes, I like it. And seems that everybody messed up. Man, is this gonna be another W? Shut up, 𝐕𝑑𝐻, would you focus? Don't mess it up. Listen, I actually don't mind which car wins in this particular matchup. I like them both quite a bit. I've said before, though it's been a long time since I've mentioned it, I am not a huge 𝐬𝐻𝐿𝐴𝐺 guy. I was not active in liking cars very much back when the 𝐬𝐻𝐿𝐴𝐺 was the main Lambo. However, I'm much more of a Diablo kid and then an Aventador guy. So I completely skipped on the 𝐬𝐻𝐿𝐴𝐺. That's why it doesn't mean a whole lot to me. I mean, it's fine, I like it. But I really, really like this one much more. And I also like the Revuelto. So all in all, I don't mind whether the Revuelto or this one wins in the overall of this matchup. But still, as I always say, I'm never going to be trying to bias any results over here. So whatever happens, happens. In 𝐕𝑑𝐻 focus, you're about to mess it up. Jesus Christ. All right, that turn in the crystal section was a little bit funky. But no matter, we're going to get another first place. Oh man, look at that. And that was also a lot of players. Now that's going to be a ton of points for this car. A ton. Yeah, that's 8 players, and that was straight up a first place. Whoa boy. So let's log that one as well. That's going to be 8 players and a first place. Look at that, 520 points. Oh, Jesus. Now, I quite like this matchup between these 2 cars for a couple of reasons. One of them, as I just mentioned, both of these cars are both of these cars are 2 that I really, really like in terms of the looks. But also, they're legit. It's the predecessor and the successor. The predecessor being the previous V12 platform, the Aventador. And now that platform is gone, the next platform is the Revuelto, from which a bunch of new cars are going to be built. In fact, I believe that in August is when Lamborghini is going to reveal their first hypercar built from... Ooh, RIP, buddy. The first hypercar built from the Lamborghini Revuelto, because again, it's the new platform, the same way that the that the Centenario and the Sian were built from Aventadors, the new hypercars or whatever for Lamborghini are gonna be built from or using as base the Revuelto, and that one is gonna be called the Fenomeno. We still don't know what it looks like. I'm really curious to see what that's gonna look like once it is actually revealed and whatnot. And I wonder if we're gonna be seeing the car added into them Asphalt games. So hey, we'll see. I was hoping that guy was gonna crash. He crashed. Oh my God, dreams can't come true. Listen, buddy, it's nothing against you. It's just that, hey, if I can get a W with this car, I wouldn't mind at all. So, you know, I'll take it. I'll take it. All right. So, whoa, that legit was pretty lucky. I mean, I did see him bouncing a little bit between the walls. So I'm like, all right, he may crash somewhere. And I thought he did, but he didn't. But then he did. So, hey, all that led to another first place. Oh, you love to see it. Oh, yeah. So this one was not 8 players though, it was 7. Yeah, 7 players. So it will be a little bit less points than the other one, but hey, still. So let's see, for 7 players in a first place, and that's still 490 points, that's still pretty decent. Round 3. Fight! Rio de Janeiro. All right, let's see how we do over here. Man, I really should get back into practicing some of these tracks, because both Rio de Janeiro and Area 51s are tracks that I feel that I've gotten worse over time. And I don't know, I guess I haven't been playing as much Asphalt 8 as I used to, so I'm kind of losing my practice. So I don't know, I should dedicate a little bit of time into practicing. I don't know, we'll see. But for now, I'm starting at the back. There's an Aventador, a couple of those. What is it, the Ferrari something, 812 Superfast or something? All right, am I on first place again? Let's see if I can keep it. Focus, DBT, focus. I'm gonna switch to Perfect Nitro. Now, the Aventador's Nitro is pretty good overall, but still, you know, I have quite a bit of a lead, so I could afford to switch to Perfect Nitro for the sake of, well, keeping as much Nitro as possible. I wanted to take that last Nitro bottle to kind of starve the person behind me, but oh well, we'll be fine. Nice. And, all right, this is, all right, focus, DPT. Don't get too cocky about this. Let's just focus on what you're doing. Oh yeah, you know what this is? You are correct. It's another first place. Jesus, what's happening? So many first places. I love it. I think these cars do be pretty strong, or I be pretty good. Unlikely, so I think it's just the cars. So that was 6 players, first place. Let's write it down. 6 players, first place. Look at those points. Didn't we do the last Revuelto race also in Patagonia? I'm not sure, but okay. Let's see how we do this time around. I think it's 7 players this time. Oh, someone just quit. Ooh, should we count that for the total? I guess no. When they quit before the race begins, we shouldn't count them. Now, if the race begins and they quit 5 seconds in, then that does count. But if the race didn't actually get to begin and they quit, then yeah. Wow, look at that. Super Trofeo Evo, lovely stuff. All right, the Bentley out-accelerates me. That is confirmed. I mean, how is that a surprise? That annoying car is so I'm fine. Make this video number 732 where DBT complains about the Bentley Continental something, whatever that thing is called. Super Sport, I think. That's the one. Man, man, I just keep on saying, that car, man, it just needs some rebalance. Just, you know, decrease the acceleration a little bit, decrease the nitro a little bit. Either one works. Just don't make it to have that level of acceleration plus that. Whoa. What just happened? Get out of the. No. Okay, at least I didn't get knocked down. No. Are you fucking kidding me? You piece of. I'm fine. See? It's like they don't know how to drive and then they mess me up. So I ended up doing flat spins on that ramp because I was trying to drift away from... Whoa, RIP that dude. Trying to drift away so he wouldn't push me that much, but then unfortunately things didn't work out and whatever. It's a 3rd place. Hate those Bentleys, man. All right, 6. What? Okay, 6 players and what? 3rd place. Oof, that doesn't look as good, does it? Round 4. Fight! Okay, we'll see how it goes. Now, I did notice that Dark, it's over here, friend of the channel, Dark. So, hey, what's up, Dark, if you happen to watch this video. But yeah, let's see how we do this time around over here. Now, I did want to mention how silly the names of these cars are. Because as you may or may not know, for a lot of Lamborghini cars, their name comes from fighting bulls, actual fighting bulls from Spain. So they tend to be Spanish words. So in the case of the car that I'm driving right now, the Aventador, that is straight up means thrower. Like someone who throws, that is an Aventador. So I suppose it's a reference to the car throwing people, the car. The bull throwing people around, I'm not sure. Look at that, there's Dark Pro Gamer. What's up, dude? So yeah, it's a bit of a silly name in the same way that the Revuelto, it's also a silly name, translating to scrambled. Which again, Lamborghini has said that it's meant to symbolize or to represent the mixture of elements between an internal combustion engine and a hybrid, or rather an electric system, making it a hybrid car. Those, the combination, the mixture, the scrambledness. Listen, there's nobody at fault over there. We just collided a little bit and I got pushed really, like I bounced off him and ended up on a wall. So hey, whatever, Dark. I'm gonna pretend you did that on purpose. You didn't do that on purpose, and yep, totally. So I am totally not gonna ban you from my Discord server because of this. I'm just kidding. Or am I? No, I'm kidding. Or am I? All right, that's gonna be a second place. That's actually, we played already on this track before, but it was with the other car. It was with the Revuelto. So okay, well, now I got a second place, and it was what? 4 players only? All right, yeah, that one was not as impressive. No, wait, 2 people disconnected. Oh, no, wait. No, it's a 6 player. No, it's 6 players, just people disconnected. So, yep, that's going to be a 6 and 2. I hope for the life of me that indeed these people disconnected mid-race. Otherwise, this might be wrong, but hey, there it is, 6 and 2. So, in the one hand, we have the car that throws, and in the other hand, we have the car that it's scrambled. It's weird names, man. What can I tell you? But at the end of the day, it's better to not analyze the actual meaning of the names and just go with how fancy they sound. These Spanish words pronounced in Italian to say things like Aventador and what? Revuelto, you know? That's why I keep on saying things like murciélago, which again, it's a word in Spanish. I should say like murciélago, but hey, it is what it is. It's fine. Now we're in the beloved Citadel Crash, so let me focus on this first turn because it can get pretty annoying. Not first turn, but you know, this jump right here. Oh boy! Well, there's people way ahead of me somehow. I guess I lost a lot of speed on the jump itself, but hey, at least I'm in the good route, so that's gotta count for something. Let me get all my nitro, please. Thank you. And here we go. I actually ended up ahead of everybody. But let's not forget that this... Oh, God! That this car, it is a little bit slower. Like I mentioned at the start of the video. It's a little bit slower than cars proed out at this rank or this bracket. So, there you go. No. I went a little bit too far to the right. Jesus Christ. Alright. Alright, I think I'm gonna... Yeah, I'm gonna keep the second place, but you know what? Second place where there were 7 players? Yep, I think that's pretty decent overall. So, hey, I'll take it. All right. So, hey, look at that. There's a rumor. There's Wait What? Lovely stuff. So that was 7 players, second place. So let's write it down. 7 players, second place. All right. The points are not looking too bad. But I do believe the Aventador is winning so far, I think. Final round. Fight! And we're in the Terra 9. Very nice. You know, I have a certain predilection towards Terra 9 and or DB Loop. So, yep. Let's hope that this and the next race are gonna be in this place, or again, Orbital Loop, because why not? But yeah, all right. You know what? For these last races, since it's the very last round, last 2 races, I'm gonna shut up and focus as much as I can and see if I can get decent results with both cars and, well, try to make it as competitive as possible. So let's do this. All right, I'm gonna switch to perfect nitro because again, gotta be careful and I have a bit of a lead, so as long as I don't mess it up, I might just be able to keep it. Not gonna lie, I was sweating there for a bit when doing that turn, but it's fine, it's fine. Yeah, look at that. My enemies are no longer in the minimap. Oh boy. I tell you, man, this car do be really, really powerful. It's meta. What can I tell you? Just a straight up meta in this bracket, so there is that. Yeah, okay, now I see them in the minimap, but they're so far away. It's fine. So that is gonna be a 5-player race, and I finish in the position. Very nice. All right. Looking good for the event. There's so many W's for this car. Yeah, 5 players, 5th place. I mean, no, 5 players, 1st place. Let's log that in. 5 and 1. Well, we went from having quite a bit of players in previous races to this one with only 4 players, so... Oof, not ideal, but you know what? It's fine. Let's just go for it. Last race with my beloved Lamborghini Revuelto. What is that car in front of me? I don't recognize it. Kinda looks... No, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what that is. It looks familiar, but I'm definitely not positive on what that is. It looks like the Chrysler ME, but that's not even from this bracket unless it's MP tuned. Other than that, I'm not sure, so... Oh, well. Now, I just realized that it actually shows as 3 players, so someone must have disconnected. However, my table doesn't account for less than 4 players because normally races don't start with with less than 4 players. So even though this is technically 3, it's still gonna count as 4 players. It's fine. And I got a 2nd place, which, okay, that kind of already tells me what's gonna happen. Yeah, look at that. Now, again, the race actually has to start with 4 players, so that means that this guy disconnected at some odd point. But either way, it's gonna count as 4 players. But now, let's just fill the information with a 4 players, 2nd place, and there we go. That's the entirety of the points. Now, I think it's pretty clear to see who won, right? But let's still reveal the points. I keep forgetting to disable this message, it's fine. 2250 versus... If I could, there we go. 1985, holy smokes, that's quite a bit of difference in points. And the winner is... Lamborghini, let's go, woo! Of course it was gonna be Lamborghini. But hey, at least now we know the Aventador did defeat the Revuelto in this one. Now, that is a similar result to what we got in the races with the Revuelto versus the Murcielago. If we want to watch that video, I'll put the link in the top right about now or in the last cards. Either way, if you want to get a heart and a pin, you need to leave me the key phrase, which for today is going to be, people, please don't become a thrower of scrambled eggs. First person to pause it gets the heart, a pin. Everyone afterwards only gets the heart. If you enjoyed this video, once again, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, all of that good stuff. And I will see you on the next one. Bye-bye.